What's good? This your man's IRLnash. Welcome to the Pokemon Channel as always. Got a video here. Let's see who is by Rap Lore. The Dark Side of Dr. Dre.
Most AI plugins do all the work for you. This one works with you. Meet Co-Producer, a plugin that finds samples that fit your music fast. Throw Co-Producer on your master and let it listen to you.
Dr. Dre's history of violence might be the rap game's best kept secret. Dr. Dre is obviously one of the most influential artists to ever do it. He's a gangster rap pioneer, a legendary music producer, and the godfather for the entire West Coast. He's mentored some of hip-hop's biggest titans from Snoop Dogg and Eminem to 50 Cent and Kendrick Lamar. He didn't just make history as the first rapper to headline the Super Bowl halftime show, he was also the first rapper to ever achieve billionaire status. What I'm saying is that Dre's shadow doesn't just loom large over LA, his presence is felt across the entire music industry. But what if I told you there is a dark side to Dre's legacy and that as he's risen to power,
I would say you a hater. I would say I want to know what you about to say, but I would say you a hater. That's what I would say.
he's also built a secret reputation as one of hip-hop's most powerful and ruthless figures. That's exactly why we're doing a deep dive into Dre's entire backstory and all the shocking controversies and allegations that have followed him throughout his career. How did Eminem put Dre's biggest scandal on blast? Did Dre really change the Straight Outta Compton script to hide his own secrets? And how many women have accused Dre of brutal violence? We've even gone through hundreds of pages of court records to give you the full picture of Dr. Dre's messy as hell divorce, from the allegations of violence to the psychiatrist who said he was so scared for his life that he had to wear a bulletproof vest.
What?
Finally, we're gonna take a closer look at all the rappers who blame Dre for destroying their careers. It could be possible that Dre's label, Aftermath Records, wiped out a whole generation of talent.
And he gonna do this in 13 minutes? 13 more minutes? That's hey.
They should be more worried about the streets
I'm tuned
and
in.
saving lives than worrying about, what NWA is doing or saying.
Dr. Dre's secrets go way back to the early stages of his career. In the late 80s, Dre shot to fame as part of the group NWA. From the very start, NWA had a massive impact on the rap game. Not only did they put Compton, California on the map, but they stirred plenty of controversy for being the first gangster rap act in history with a platinum album. The FBI even sent them a letter warning them not to perform their song "The Police" at concerts. That's crazy, I didn't know that. But even with all that success and notoriety,
And then, of course, we've all seen the movie now, but as people who don't know, they actually got arrested first year in Detroit for that shit, man.
NWA was struggling. Ice Cube, who was pretty much the group's main rider, cut ties with them in 1990, and there was a lot of bad blood over his departure. At 1991, Cube took shots at Dre and the rest of the crew on his diss track No Vaseline.
Hey yo, Dre, stick to producing, calling me on the block. You been a easy, saw your ass and went in it quick.
The whole situation had Dre heated, and things got even worse when Ice Cube did an interview with a 22-year-old journalist named D. Barnes and used it to talk about NWA. Just weeks after that interview dropped, Dr. Dre ran into D. Barnes at an album release party in Hollywood, and that's when he attacked her. Barnes even wrote about what happened to her. Quote, "He picked me up by my hair and my ear and smashed my face and body into the wall. Next thing I know, I'm down on the ground and he's kicking me in my ribs and stomping on my fingers. I ran into the women's bathroom to hide, but he burst in the door and started bashing me in the back of the head. Dre me up by my shirt in the front, and I can't even say help because I'm choking. The next thing I know, the guys on my right try to help me and gets knocked out by Dre's bodyguard. Then Dre picks me up by my hair and ear and starts slamming my face up against a wall. It was a brick wall. One of NWA's own promoters, Doug Young, said that he tried to stop Dre, only for Dre's own bodyguard to punch him out too. In the aftermath though, the rest of
Damn, bro, that ain't funny. That is not funny. That shit crazy, bro. Like, I always thought that he just slapped her. That's what they said. I didn't know that this nigga brutally assaulted a victim, bro. That's kind of crazy.
NWA defended Dr. Dre in interviews by saying that Dee Barnes, quote, deserved to be attacked, all because she did that interview with Ice Cube. But Dee Barnes didn't do anything but interview Ice Cube. Cube was the one who talked all that shit. Dee Barnes literally just asked him some questions. And truth be told, the industry didn't seem to care that Dre stomped out and beat up a female journalist in front of hundreds of party guests. While Dee pressed criminal charges against Dre for the assault, he was only hit with a $2,513 fine and probation. That's crazy. It wasn't long before the whole world forgot about the altercation.
This is what I always wonder about fines, right? You sue somebody, do the fine go to the person or do the fine go to the court? Because why didn't they say that it was awarded? You know what I'm saying? Why did they say it was a fine? A fine don't sound like that's going to me. A fine sound like that's going to them. I need that.
Dr. Dre himself split up with NWA and launched his own highly lucrative solo career.
I'm Dr. Dre's biggest fan.
You are, aren't you?
Over the next decade, Dre built a reputation as not only the West Coast top producer, but also a top-tier talent scout for up-and-coming artists like Snoop Dogg and Eminem. And it turns out that Eminem had a huge hand in putting Dre on blast for the Dee Barnes altercation. In the late 90s, Eminem was still struggling to make ends meet in Detroit. That was until Dr. Dre listened to his demo tape and flew him out to the studio. Dre clearly saw a lot of raw talent in M and wanted to work with him. But in those early sessions together, M nearly f***ed their whole relationship up. One of the first songs they recorded together was a track called Guilty Conscience, and this is the exact kind of song that could absolutely never be made today. The content basically involves Dre and M debating right and wrong and saying all kinds of out-of-pocket shit, including joking about date raping a teenager. But in the climax of the song, M talks shit about Dr. Dre attacking Dee Barnes.
Is that
Take advice from somebody who slapped Dee Barnes.
Oh, I was like, bro, I know this song. I definitely know this song. Damn. Oh, shit. Yeah, I didn't like this song when I was a kid, bro. I used to think that this shit was weird. Because it was like, they was like doing like a narration of this shit too. And that shit just made me feel creeped out, bro.
What you say? What's wrong? Didn't think I remember? I'ma kill you, you little mother. Temper.
That's crazy. According to Eminem, he was apparently super nervous to record that line because he literally only known Dr. Dre for a few days. But as soon as Dre heard it, he reportedly fell out of his chair laughing. That's wild. Guilty Conscience became a controversial cult classic, but it also taught a whole new generation of fans that Dr. Dre had done some dark shit back in the day. And more importantly, Dre felt he was untouchable enough that he thought the whole situation was funny enough to joke about. But 15 years later, things got hot for Dre while he was promoting his NWA biopic, Straight Outta Compton. Dr. Dre and Ice Cube were now executive producers on the movie, and journalists uncovered that some earlier versions of the script actually included a scene where Dre beats up Dee Barnes with some cringy dialogue. Dr. Dre, quote, saw that you did with Cube, really had you under his spell, huh? Ate up everything he said, let him diss us, sell us out. Dee Barnes, I just let him tell you his story. That's what I do, it's my job. Dr. Dre, I thought we were cool, you and me, but you just don't give a f. You wanna laugh at NWA, make us all look like fools. But the actual movie doesn't include that scene at all. And since Dre was literally a producer on the movie, it seemed like the filmmakers deleted the scene to help cover up his past.
Yeah, I'm saying they not gonna make a movie where the lead character in the movie is beating up women. That's no Paramount ain't putting no money behind that.
And rewrite history. Making things even crazier is that the director for Straight Outta Compton, F. Gary Gray, was literally also Dee Barnes' cameraman during those interviews with Ice Cube all those years ago.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
Which is a crazy coincidence. The Straight Outta Compton movie boosted Dre's mainstream profile, but it also inspired a lot of people to take a closer look at his past. Because it turns out that Dee Barnes wasn't the only woman who had seen Dre's alleged violent side.
Shut that man, he missed me by that much.
In fact, there's been numerous accusations following Dre around for literal decades. And while D Barnes was the most notorious and well-known case involving Dre, plenty of other people have spoken up about his dark side. Before Dre was ever even famous, he was in a relationship with a woman named Lisa Johnson, who was also the mother of Dre's first.
Lisa look like Larry. Look like Lester. Look like no Lisa Johnson.
Johnson, who was also the mother of Dre's first daughter. And according to court documents uncovered by journalist Ben Westhoff, Dre, quote, beat her a bunch of times in the 80s when they were together, including while she was pregnant. Another woman, a rapper named Tyre B, alleged that Dr. Dre attacked her at a Grammys after party in 1990. Tyre B and Dre used to be label mates on Ruthless Records until Dre cut ties with NWA. After Dre jumped ship, Tyre B dissed him on the song Ruthless Bitch.
But you ain't got nothing to do with content. I produce myself. So I brag it. Go back to wearing sequins because you look like a fat.
This shit was corny then. It's corny now. And the use of the F word in hip hop has to be studied, bro. I don't get why people thought it was so acceptable.
And when Dre saw her in person, Tyre B said he, quote, punched me in the eye. And when I didn't go down, he punched me in the mouth. But some of the most chilling accusations come from Michelle, Dre's ex-fiance, and the mother of his son, Marcel. Michelle first met Dre when she was just 16 years old, and she sang vocals on tons of songs he produced for NWA. When Dre went solo, he made sure that he took her with him to his new label, Death Row Records. But according to Michelle, her relationship with Dr. Dre was filled with horrifying violence that left her with traumatic injuries, including a broken nose, a cracked rib, and black eyes. Quote, he would hit me with a closed fist every time. It was never open fist. It was always closed fist.
Damn.
She even alleged that Dr. Dre fired a gun at her and that the bullet missed her by inches. And while the shooting was a one-time incident, he was still extremely violent, and the non-stop abuse pushed her into self-medicating.
He never tried to shoot me anymore, thank God, but the beat.
What? I wanted to say something. I'm not gonna say it, bro.
It was a lot. His last wife, I just couldn't do it anymore. It's too much.
All the scrutiny on Dr. Dre forced him to deliver a public apology to, quote, the women I've hurt. I deeply regret what I did, and I know that it has forever impacted all of our...
Hey, if I was his publicist, I'd have been like, do not say that at all. Don't you dare say that shit.
lives. And in the 2017 documentary, The Defiant Ones, Dr. Dre finally directly addressed his attack on D Barnes.
Any man that puts his hands on a female is a fucking idiot. He's out of his fucking mind. And I was out of my fucking mind at the time.
You still out of your fucking mind, bro.
Ain't
Ain't no way that documentary come out and I ain't suing the shit out that nigga, bro. I'm suing that nigga for 38 million trillion. 78 quadrillion a billion. Take 1 million, 10x that shit, put it in crypto, and then send it back to me. I need it. I need everything.
I paid for it. I'm sorry for it. And I apologize for it.
But that's still not the whole story. In 2020, Dr. Dre's wife of 24 years, Nicole Plotzker-Young, filed for divorce. And if you look at the legal documents in the divorce case, there's some pretty crazy accusations about Dre's behavior, including that he held a gun to her head on 2 separate occasions. Quote, Andre has held a gun to my head on 2 occasions.
This nigga is crazy. What the hell?
on January 8th of 2000 and on November 20th of 2001. Andre has punched me in the head and face on 2 occasions in 1999 and on January 8th of 2000. Andre kicked down the door to my bedroom in which I was hiding from his rage in 2016. Andre has verbally and emotionally decimated my personhood to the extent that I currently suffer from post-traumatic stress syndrome. The timeline that Nicole mentions is important here because if she's telling the truth, it means that Dr. Dre is making all those statements apologizing for abuse only to allegedly hold a gun to his own wife's head years later. Nicole even said that she called the police on Dre all the way back in 1995 when he, quote, slammed her up against a wall and lifted her off the floor by her neck. While Dre and Nicole finalized the divorce with a reported $100 million settlement, it led to yet another lawsuit. In 2024, a psychiatrist who was reportedly Dre's marriage counselor claimed that Dre sent him, quote, threats of intimidation and violence for over a year. That psychiatrist, Dr. Sophie, even said that fake FBI agents hired by Dr. Dre tried to harass him in his own neighborhood. Sophie went as far to claim that Dre made him fear for his life and that he had to hire private security and wear a bulletproof vest. Then there's those reports about how Dre treats his own children. His oldest daughter, Latanya Young, recently said that she struggled with homelessness and works for DoorDash, even though her dad is worth over $1 billion. By the way, Latanya is the daughter of Lisa Johnson, who was reportedly abused by Dre all the way back in the 80s.
All right, this is getting. Hey, shit. Yeah, we gonna keep going, but damn.
And some people think this treatment of Latanya might be payback for those abuse allegations going back nearly 4 decades. That's crazy. No matter how you look at it, Dr. Dre's personal life looks chaotic as hell. And it turns out working for Dre isn't all that easy either.
I was like, I didn't really need to hear that. I can't relate.
Despite Dre's reputation as being one of hip-hop's biggest star makers, his label Aftermath Records is notorious for shelving artists. While most fans credit Dre for signing superstars in waiting like Snoop, Eminem, Kendrick, 50 Cent.
He's only done it a couple times through the decades. Like, I can't hold you up.
Anderson .Paak and The Game, the truth is that a lot of Dre's label signees never get a chance to put out music. Over the years, Dre and Aftermath have made splashy announcements for signing up-and-coming talent, only for those artists' careers to fizzle out. One of those artists, Bishop Lamont, said that he struggled under the Aftermath umbrella for half a decade waiting for his album to come out. Quote, after almost 5 years of sitting there and working with every producer in the world, it's kind of unfair to the fans and my family and myself to keep telling people something and release dates change. I can't afford that.
You said this in a Vibe magazine? Nigga, how old was this?
Situation. Something similar happened to Detroit rapper John Connor, who after building his own fan base with his mixtape,
bro, we just did the cypher with John Connor. Damn.
Hustle, was forced to watch while Dr. Dre signed him and delayed his album year after year after year. Dre's reputation for benching artists on the come up has given Aftermath Records a pretty mixed reputation.
Shout out John Connor, man. We just did the cypher with John Connor. He just pulled up couple of little bit ago. That joint just dropped. Go check out my verse if you ain't checked out my verse. Shout out Dog for coming out and tapping in with us, man.
In the industry. And even OG rappers aren't immune to Dre's curse. Established stars like Busta Rhymes and Rakim also signed to Aftermath midway through their careers, only to gather dust waiting for
Midway? Wow, when is Midway?
Dre to greenlight their release dates. Rakim even said that he clashed with Dre creatively and that he tried to force him to do a gangster rap album.
We would sit in the studio and Dre, he'd put on a beat. He'd sit next to me and be like, I want you to talk that on this one. Like, Dre, that's what you say on every track you play, bro. Like, when you gonna let me rhyme on something? I gotta, beef with everybody.
The truth is that while Dre is seen as one of the most important and influential producers in the industry, there's a ton of artists whose careers stalled out just because Dre didn't deliver for them. Dre may have changed hip-hop forever, but the truth is that his legacy is far more complicated than most fans realize. And even though he's an entrepreneur, mogul, and living legend, Dre is still hoping that his secrets remain buried. At this point, the only question that remains is if Dre's shady past will ever catch up with him. Stay locked in. More rap lore on the way.
Hey, man, I didn't know some of that stuff. I can't lie. I can't lie. Shout out to the young man. He doing his thing. Trap lore. We gonna be rap lore. I mean, not trap lore. Cause they ain't trap lore walls. We gonna be listening in. We gonna be tapping in with you, my boy.